intro. And we're live.
We live in the kitchen. Let's go, baby. We talking about a great. Let's go, baby. Talking about a great. My bad, you guys. That's me. This is our first live stream, by the way. So we're gonna make a lot of rookie mistakes. Forgive me for that. But today we talking about October the 15th, which is tomorrow. We're gonna talk about these great fights. It's a great day of boxing for us. Unfortunately, no disrespect to Kambosos, we're gonna touch that one first because it's gonna be quick. Kambosos and Haney, it's a championship fight, but I don't really see, unless Kambosos can make a whole 360 turnaround and just be a whole different fighter from the fight that he did last time. He losing. Like I can't see it. But what you think, Steve?
I think Kambosos got to go in there with a whole different game plan. I think he's got to be more aggressive, take more chances, and bring the fight to Haney. Because if not, Haney's gonna box him all night. You feel me? But for sure, you got to change the game plan, go more aggressive. I don't see Haney changing much of his game plan, but I do think he's the type of fighter to adapt. So if Kambosos does come in with a more aggressive style this time around, I still think Haney will be ready for it. But I hope it's more interesting than the first. Australia has been fiending for a good fight in their country for a minute, and so I hope this one, that meets expectations this time. But other than that, I mean, not really much more to say about that fight, man. I mean, I wish it was more to say and it was more exciting, but goddamn, I still think Haney's going to dominate the fight. I don't think he's going to knock Kambosos out, or maybe hopefully Haney could go in there on some, I'm going to knock this dude out this time.
I feel like that's what he might try to do.
You know what I mean?
That's what he was saying.
Make a bigger statement. We know you can outbox him all night. I want to see, a lot of people call him pillow hands and shit like that. I don't want to see him go in there and try to get the knockout, bro. For me, you know what I mean? That's what I want to see from Haney this time. Try to go get the knockout.
See what I don't like.
But maybe, I can fuck him up. So maybe that's what he'll, what I mean? But hopefully I want to see him go for the knockout.
I don't like when people say that, pillow hands. How a motherfucker gonna have pillow hands, right? How a person gonna have pillow hands? But motherfuckers that he be fighting don't just be coming up there to pressure him like that. Like if he had pillow, I can understand you could say he don't have knockout power. But to say someone got pillow hands,
yeah.
I mean, I understand what you're trying to say, but in the same light, you can't say the dude got pillow hands.
You talking about me?
No, I'm just saying, just when people say that, when they be like, yo, he got pillow hands, okay. It's fighters that got pillow hands, but Devin Haney might not have the knockout power. And let's also say, like Shakur Stevens said, he don't be knocking people out, but he got enough power to where you don't see people just keep pressuring up on him because
they respect his power.
Yeah, they got respectable power. But the next one we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna talk about the return. Bomb Squad! Hey, I've been feeling for that, dude. I ain't gonna lie. No homo. That's my boy Deontay. He took that L on that third one against my boy Tyson Fury. I knew he wasn't gonna win that fight, but I was still rooting for him. I keep it real, but I'm really excited to have him back. And he's an exciting fighter. He always come in. He come in to fight. He not on no bullshit. He not gonna lollygag. He gonna come in there to take care of business. He got a mean streak about him. I like that. I like this fight for him. It's a risky fight for him, but also in that same light,
it's a risky fight, bro.
It is a old sparring partner, so they're familiar with each other. Not only is he familiar with Helanius, but Helanius familiar with him. But that also gives it risk, but also makes it kind of something he's familiar with. But it could be a double-edged sword because, as I said, Helanius is familiar with him as well. I like that fight. I still think it's a good fight because Helanius has knockout power. He has the reach, and he's a heavy dude. He come in heavy, and he's also mean. He come in there to knock you out. He not playing with you. He got dog in him. I like that fight. I just feel like Deontay Wilder's power is too much. I feel like his movement is gonna be a little bit hard for Helanius. I feel like to keep up with his movement. Not to say that Deontay has hella movement. I just feel like his athleticism is gonna be too much for him. That and his power too. I just don't see Helanius hanging. But he can make it. I just hope he makes it a good fight. At least 3 good rounds.
It's going to be a dangerous fight. If you look at Helanius' last fights, he's knocked out a heavyweight prospect, I would say, maybe almost a contender with I forget his name, but he's Poland.
Somebody from New York when they fought in New York.
So you guys see he's coming off of 2 wins. So his confidence right now is really up. And Dante's coming back from that trilogy, which he lost the last 2 fights. If you look at the last 3 fights, Deontay hasn't won a fight in 3 fights. Helanius has been on a pretty good roll. So confidence-wise, I think Helanius is going to go in there, and he really believes he could win. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to go in there. It's going to be a dangerous fight. I think it's going to be a good fight, but eventually I do see Wilder knocking Helanius out. But I think it's going to be a dangerous fight, like you said, in the first couple of rounds, bro. It's going to be pretty dangerous. And I don't know if you've seen, man, Wilder's been on, he just did an interview with the Pivot podcast, and he was on the Breakfast Club. He talked about his losses and where he's at mentally. He looks like he's really good. It looks like he said he was about to retire, but he said he's going to stick around for about 3 more years. So it looks like he's back getting his confident, finding himself again, and that could be a dangerous Wilder, maybe more dangerous than before. You know what they say, man, sometimes the loss can make you a more dangerous man. So we're about to find out, see what Wilder does in his return. Can't wait for that fight either.
Yeah, that's a great fight.
But on the undercard.
Yeah, I forgot about the Anthony Dirrell and Plant. Man, one thing about me, I try to be unbiased with everything. And my boy Caleb Plant, I like Caleb Plant. That was me and him. We used to have arguments about. He'll be like, man, who you think is like? This might sound racist, but we're not trying to come off racist. He was like, who you think? But anybody that probably is into fight sports probably has this type of conversation. Who you think is the best white boxer right now? And I was like, man, I got to give it to, this before I fucked with Tyson Fury. I got to give it to Tyson Fury now. But I was saying, it's my boy Caleb Plant. And he was saying, nah, it's Billy Joe Saunders. And I was like, nah, man. We were just going back and forth like, man, he ain't fucking with my boy. He ain't fucking. You know how it be when you got a fighter that you rock with and you telling somebody about him, but the other person rock with someone else and you feel like they could beat him, you know. But anyways, I really like Caleb Plant. I like the type of boxer he is. He's a mover, a boxer puncher in a way. He is a boxer puncher to me, in my opinion, personally. I like the way he moves. I like his boxing style. I really do. He's really a person that really I could tell he's in the game. Like is hit and not get hit. You could see that. His movement. He has good athleticism. He has good speed. I don't care if he's white, black, for anybody. He got good speed. People probably try to say he don't have knockout power like that, but I think he has good enough power. Probably not crazy knockout power, but he has good power. He had a great performance. To me, I even told him I feel like he was going to do the best against Canelo. And so far, he's done the best. We'll just have to see how, if it ever happens, I'd love to see that fight, though, how Benavidez or Charlo does against Canelo. But that's later on. We ain't gonna go that far. But I really like Caleb Plant in this fight. You can see Anthony Dirrell and them two. They don't like each other for whatever reason it may be. I think it's a good fight. Well, I hope it's gonna be a good fight. I just feel like he just might get knocked the fuck out by my boy. Anthony Dirrell just might get knocked out by my boy Plant. I'm not saying he will, but for sure he gonna take this L. I could tell you that.
Well, I mean, the thing about it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's gonna be a chess match. I think Dirrell has the more experience, but he is kind of, I would say, almost on his way out. You know what I mean? So I think
I kind of wish this would have been like about 5-6 years ago, but
about 3 years ago would have been good.
Yeah, but even still,
it's a good fight. Dirrell has fought some of the best at his division. So has Caleb Plant of obviously fighting Canelo. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a chess match, and I agree. I think Caleb Plant is gonna box his way around the ring all night, hit and not get hit. And then but I think it'll be a good fight. It's gonna be a good little chess match. You know what I mean? Good little chess match. But yeah, bro, I agree though for the most part.
I think it will be a chess match for a little bit. And then I just feel like, in my opinion, I feel like not only Caleb Plant, as many people said, Caleb Plant's youth is going to start to shine through. Also, his boxing as well.
The only thing is, though, he is coming off a knockout loss to Canelo.
You can say that, yeah.
So, we've seen Dirrell get stopped, I want to say once by Davis, but it was a cut. He didn't really, it was mostly a cut. It wasn't like a real knockout, but it was a cut. But anyway, Dirrell, Plant just came off a Canelo loss. So, I think when you lose your first fight, if you get knocked out for your first time or get stopped for the first time, it's the comeback. We don't know if we're going to see the same Plant. He didn't take a real bad knockout, but he is coming off a loss. We're going to see how he responds to it. And fighting Dirrell after your first knockout loss is no walk in the park either, man. So it's gonna be a tough fight, bro. I would give you that. I understand what you're saying. I would give you that, but the caliber of fighter that he fought and lost to, so that gives him. If he would have just lost, if he would have lost by decision, no. Well, he got stopped, bro. You're not listening to exactly what I'm saying. The caliber of fighter that Canelo is. Right. And the performance that Caleb Plant put on, even though he lost, even though he got knocked out, so far, besides what's his name, Bivol, which was at 175, Caleb Plant did the best against Canelo. He had the best performance so far. Besides, what's his name? That's debatable, though. That's debatable, bro. No, a lot of people say Lara had a really good fight against. Okay, I'll give you Lara. Even Khan. They said the first couple of fights, couple of rounds was people said Khan was winning. You know what I'm saying? Until he got knocked out. Billy Joe Saunders was doing pretty good until he got knocked out. Billy Joe Saunders. So it's debatable, bro. Billy Joe Saunders didn't get knocked out. His face broke. He didn't get up off his stool. Let's remember that. As a fighter, I understand what you're saying. He got his face broke, but them. For sure. They fighters, so that's a little different. That's a little different. But what I'm saying is. But you get where I'm coming from, though. You lost to who people said before this loss was the best fighter. Yeah, no, I'm not saying. I'm just saying we don't know how anybody is. After coming back from a knockout fight. I get what you're saying, but the only reason why I bring that up is because of the caliber of fighter that Canelo is. But we're not gonna stay on that long. Let's go on to now I feel this next fight we're gonna talk about, not even just fight, the card. The two fights in the card are so amazing and so great. I just feel like they're getting shortchanged here in the States. How can this be happening, especially with all this women's empowerment movement stuff going on? Like, where's the women empowerment movement? I feel like these females should be getting notoriety. They should be getting playtime on TV, on ESPN. People should be talking about them. I think that's just a boxing problem. I don't think it's really men and women. It's just boxing in general. Even they would have talked. Even Haney and Kambosos, undisputed
But it's
fight.
not the first.
It's an undisputed fight. You don't get this every year.
It's not the first though. This gonna be the first females, all female card. This not just boxing.
It's boxing because
it's not just boxing.
Boxing in general, it's just not promoted how it used to be.
Now you're right about that. I get what you're saying, but at least ESPN and shit, they should be picking it up. That's what I'm talking about. Like ESPN, they'll talk about the fights. They don't talk about plenty of fights. They probably don't talk about it for a long time.
They talk about it for a quick segment, and they move on.
I feel they should at least do that with these females because this is the first female fight, all female fight card, and then they got 2 female undisputed fights going on the same card, bro. In the UK, they doing them service. That's why they went and did the fight.
Hold up, man.
They know what they doing.
It's 3 years.
Now you did. Hey, you put me on the female boxing. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't fuck that shit at first. I was like, man, I don't know, man. I don't even pay attention to that shit.
For real, I think it should be promoted more.
Yeah, definitely.
It's historical.
Come on, man.
But I think, like I said, it's boxing and it's women. So you kind of got 2 things that, in America, they're not really pushing it as much as I think they should. I think potentially boxing.
I feel like women's stuff is being pushed.
I know, but boxing and then women's boxing.
But not
you know
boxing.
What I mean? But I think, this year has been great for women's boxing, regardless. Mm-hmm. Katie Taylor and Amanda set it off. They hit a high standard. It was this year, and I think it'll be these type of fights historically, I think it's bigger, and I hope the ladies know it. I think it's bigger than them.
I don't even think we've said the fighter's name. We just said these fighters.
We're talking about Clarissa Shields and Marshall,
and also Alicia Baumgardner and Michaela Mayer.
But yeah, these are fights that they're just great fights. Great fights. Even the undercard, we got a couple of women who are going to be future stars, I think, and to come up. But just to stay on the top 2 cards, great for boxing, great for women's boxing. I think it's going to be probably got potential having fight of the year for both fights. But let's start off with the co-main.
Yeah, let's start off with that co-main thing. I like Alicia Baumgardner, but since I've been doing a little more research and I've been watching, and the thing about Baumgardner, I don't see a lot of her highlights like that. You need to get that checked out, girl, and go and get your highlights up. I like her fight style. She's a counter puncher. She's a good fighter to me. I like Michaela. She's growing on me. I like her combinations. I like her technique. She can dig deep when she has to, and she puts her punches together. From what I've seen so far, and I've only watched probably like 3 of her fights. I slick watched a little bit of the Hamadouche, but I was really tired and I was like in and out. But he watched that whole thing. He was telling me how far it was, and I seen a little bit of it. But I like Alicia. I favor Alicia Baumgardner. I like her athleticism. I like her counter-punching ability and her power and speed. Also, I've seen more of her highlights that made me see some of the holes in her game that maybe Michaela probably already seen and knew about. But I'm still leaning towards Alicia. I just feel like it's a little closer than I used to think now that I've done a little more research. Nah, I just been talking. That's what it is. And I was looking for this. But anyways, yeah, I really like this fight. It's gonna be, it could, as he said, it could be a fight of the year candidate. I think it could be fight of the year or fight of the year candidate. It's gonna be all action. They don't like each other. If you've been seeing the build up to this fight, man,
it's real.
It's real, yeah. It gets real in the battlefield. They gonna get down low and dirty, you know. But I like it, man.
I love it.
Yeah, I was excited. I was, man, no disrespect to nobody in England, man. Why the Queen had to die, man? I was so upset. I was like, dang.
I think he probably built it up a little bit better though.
It did. It gave us more suspense, I guess. Had to wait for it, but I could talk about this fight. Just talk about it forever. Cause matter of fact, I'm chomping at the bit to see this shit. But I'm gonna let you go. Michaela, no disrespect to you. I think you're a good fighter still. I just leaning towards Baumgardner for the reasons I stated earlier. But go ahead.
Well, I favor Michaela. I've been watching her for a minute, man.
You don't want to tell me about her.
I've been watching Michaela for a while, and she gets better every fight I see her. Every time I see her, she gets better and better. But yeah, versus the Hamadouche fight, I think it was probably the second best women's fight that I've seen. Second only to Amanda and Katie Taylor.
Well, so far.
So far, that's what I'm saying that I've seen so far. It was a great fight, and like you said, it's not a lot to watch from Alicia. I think she's a good fighter. I just haven't seen enough of her. I've seen a lot from Michaela Mayer. Like I said, I've been watching her for a couple of years now. Every time I watch her, she gets better and better. And obviously, everybody's saying it. A lot of people are saying it. Alicia got the power. Michaela may have the advantage on skill, boxing wise. I think I agree with it. I think if she doesn't get caught with that big right hand that we know Alicia has, she can probably win. But the crazy thing about it is I don't think we've seen the best of either or. We haven't seen the best of Michaela and we haven't seen the best of Baumgardner. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a lot of her, and so it's hard for me to go for her. But that's the thing. Maybe she has something that I haven't seen yet, or that the world hasn't seen yet, that she might bring it out in this fight. That's why it's so crazy, because these girls are at the peak or not even there yet, I don't think. They're getting better and better every fight. It's who has the performance of their life who's going to win this fight. And if this fight is one of those type of fights, you got to fight the perfect fight. I kind of feel like it's going to be like Valdez. Nah, I think it's going to be like Valdez versus Dirrell. I think Michaela can have a performance like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think about that fight.
And you know what?
I like both of them though. It's one of these fights where I don't want to go for either one. If I had to choose, I'm going for Michaela just because I've been watching her longer. But I like both fighters, and I hope this turns into a trilogy. That's what I want.
I don't know if they got a rematch clause, but they should.
No, it's a unification fight. There's no rematch clause. Unification fights.
Okay. But what I was about to say?
I think a trilogy would be perfect. Perfect. I know. See, this to me kind of reminds me. It's going to sound crazy, but it kind of reminds me of the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson era. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because they're black and white, I don't know. But if you remember back in those days, basketball was barely becoming real popular. Before Magic and Bird, it was like a throwaway sport. A second-class sport. And then this rivalry just built up. At the right time when basketball was becoming what it is. And I think it's the same thing now. Baumgardner and Alicia, they're having that rivalry at the right time. Women's boxing is only going to get bigger and bigger. And they're going to be remembered. All these girls right now, from Katie Taylor, Amanda, they're going to be remembered for some of the pioneers of what is to come. And I think this rivalry can be one of the greatest of all times if the first fight is competitive. Main event, bro. What you got? What you got for me?
Main event, I'm leaning towards Clarissa Shields. She, to me, has...
She ain't got no knockouts, though, bro.
She ain't got no knockouts, but she be winning.
But she not at home.
And she not at home, that's cool though. But she be
Are
winning.
they gonna? Can she win? Can she win
in Britain?
in Britain
In the UK
by decision?
I do believe she can.
But what if it's close? What if she has to? If she wins by decision, it has to be a landslide. You feel me?
I understand what you're saying. Check this out though. The reason I say
if it's like a Katie Taylor Serrano type of fight, was like this.
The reason why I'm leaning towards her though is because first and foremost, I like her boxing. Yeah, I really like Clarissa Shields' boxing.
She's elite.
She's really good at her boxing. Now, I do see some holes in her game. I do see places where Savannah Marshall can capitalize. Because sometimes when she gets eager, as I done told you, she kind of, to me, she tends to throw kind of wild punches a little bit in combinations. And what I noticed about Savannah Marshall are most of her punches, in my opinion, or all of her punches is like sharp, straight. Yeah, they come packed straight. They don't get too wide. I don't see that in her. So I could see her maybe catching her in between, and the power she got. I know Clarissa saying she fought some bums, but either way, you got enough power to be knocking these bitches out straight. No disrespect to nobody. These females out straight. I don't want nobody to think I'm trying to be mean or nothing. I apologize. It's just the way I grew up, the way I talk. But yeah, that's all I think, man. And the reason I like Clarissa is her footwork. I think Savannah Marshall, she kind of flat-footed. She don't like move around enough. She don't.
Well, I'll tell you this though. I think Savannah's gonna be the aggressive.
Yeah. She try to be on the front foot, but. And
then we gotta see if the power is real.
And this is another thing about this fight. These females also don't like each other. Don't like each other at all. That's what's so great about this card. That's what's so great about this whole card.
This is England versus America. Undisputed. But what was I going to? Shields has been knocked down by what's her name? Hannah.
What was it? Hannah Rankin?
No.
Hannah Gabriel.
Hannah Gabriel. She's been knocked down before, got caught with a good punch. And supposedly Marshall's supposed to have more power than her. So she catches Shields. How will she respond? How's that chin gonna respond? Some people say it's iffy. If you took Clarissa Shields, that she's gonna tell you hell no.
But check this out, Hannah Gabriel pretty big though.
Yeah, I think she's a heavyweight right now.
So keep that in mind too.
But interesting fight, man. Interesting fight. But yeah, I see Shields getting the decision. I think it can come back on her though if she makes it too close. She is in England, so she can't make it too close. I hope she goes in there and bullies the bully. I want to see her bully the bully. That's what I would like to see. And
we might see that. She might just have to show. She might be on that. Yeah, bitch. What's up now? I'm ready. Hey, they don't like each other, man. I'm for real too, man. No, they really don't like each other. So that makes it just more the animosity, the intensity. They probably gonna work even harder to be in better condition for this fight, like. And the undercard too, Alicia Baumgardner and what's
Michaela Mayer. But let's talk about this, right? Well, let's talk about the channel. We're gonna talk about the channel we just dropped. We're gonna be doing we're mostly gonna be doing a lot of everything, you know. We're just big boxing fans, so we want to be putting out content. So we're going to be putting out, if y'all guys seen our first video already, we're going to be putting out highlight videos, kind of storytelling type of videos. And at first, we're going to try to get better and better at it. We're not pros or anything. We're just,
Just do it with us for now.
we're just two homies who love boxing, and we're gonna have a lot more content coming out pretty soon. We're working on it. More videos.
Yeah, fuck with us, man. You like what you see, you like-minded, you feel the same way. You know, we come out, we try to come out with unbiased and real stuff. So none of that sugarcoat, not nothing to just put stuff out. We want to come out with high quality stuff. That way we could build a community somewhat like that, you know what I mean? People that could just come in, they know they're gonna get good videos, good content. If not all the time, damn near all the time, they come mess with us here with the boxing pugilists. That's actually what we created the channel for. We, as he said, we big box. We've been talking about doing this shit for probably like 5-6 years now. We just getting to doing this, so we here. We just starting, but we here to stay. We gonna deal with us because we're in the beginning stage, and we learning as we go. We're not professionals yet. Make sure you like and subscribe. You like what you see. You like-minded. You let people know where you're getting the content from, the information. I like to give a shout out to all the other streamers, the people that started before us. We be getting ideas from everybody. We ain't gonna say we originators. We just doing what we like to do. What we basically talk about with each other. That's what it is. And we feel like we know enough to bring it out to the people. And we're gonna see. Y'all enjoy, man.
We out.
Y'all have a blessing.